We start the hour in South Sudan and a worrying report from the UN Human Rights Office. It details several atrocities committed in the country during the civil war and more recently, and says they amount to crimes against humanity and war crimes. The report was published early on Friday and describes rape, pillage, the killing of civilians, the burning of people and a litany of other atrocities committed in the country. South Sudan's civil war lasted for months with several delays in peace talks. Both sides are accused of those atrocities. The UN is calling for urgent action from the international community.
The situation is extremely serious. Tens of thousands of children's lives are at risk, and there is a need for a similar and increasing level of commitment in a place that we start describing as a forgotten emergency.
Let's get you more now on that. I'm joined live from New York now by CCTV's Lorna Shadik. Lorna, let's start with that report on South Sudan. What more can you tell us about it, and what steps will the UN likely be taking on the crisis in the country?
Well, this is a 102-page report full of really quite harrowing stories from South Sudan, and it really didn't sort of spare either side. It said both sides in South Sudan were responsible for committing severe violence, and in fact the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has said this is one of the most horrendous human rights situations in the world. But the coordinator of the UN assessment team did single out forces loyal to the president, Salva Kiir, as being acting particularly badly. He said that the opposition forces also committed atrocities, but it is in particular the government forces and the affiliated militias that use systematic sexual violence to punish and terrorize civilians. Now, we know that the UN team was in South Sudan between October and January, and they estimate that over 10,500 civilians were killed in the 12 months leading up to November last year. And in fact, really shocking, it also documented over 1,300 cases of rape between April and September last year in just one state in South Sudan, Unity State. 1,300 cases of rape just in that one state. So we know that the UN Human Rights Council is going to take up the issue of South Sudan very soon. The 47 members will vote later this month on a resolution that's likely to call for the UN to appoint a special rapporteur to the country to monitor developments and report back to the Council. And the coordinator of the assessment teams also said there must be a commitment on meaningful accountability to make sure that those who perpetrated these crimes are brought to justice.